Hello everyone, in this video I will cover 10 best PS4 horror games, but before we start this video make sure you subscribe to our channel Games Down and press the bell icon for more gaming videos. So without any further ado, let's start this video. The first game of this video is Observer. The game is made all the more well-rounded with its detailed cybernetic world, a mind-boggling narrative that has two different endings, and a cast that includes Blade Runner alum Rutger Hauer. Following a cryptic phone call from his long-lost son, Daniel Lazarski is led to the tenant building slums of Class C, where a mysterious murder case unfolds involving a severed head, a group of anti-corporate terrorists, and a menacing cybernetic monster. Next up we have Outlast. Both Outlast and Outlast 2 are exemplary of the horror video game. Like many of the best survival games, the player in both iterations has no weapon and must perceive the world through a video camera, paying homage to the cult classic Blair Witch. Despite the first game having a relatively over-the-top story involving a psych ward and an MK Ultra cover-up, its sequel only reinvigorated the narrative via a helicopter crash survivor pistol. Next up we have Moons of Madness. For the cosmic horror enthusiasts, Moons of Madness is the perfect blend of Soma and Event Horizon. Rock Pocket and Dreamloop Games developed a masterpiece of interactive Lovecraftian horror, sending players to the Crimson Planet as a troubled astronaut named Shane Newhart. The story takes place in the fictional universe of Funcom's The Secret World, with the aforementioned game's Irachi group playing a large role in Moons of Madness. Next up we have Amnesia: The Dark Descent. The Dark Descent takes players down a path of winding and grueling insanity. Amnesia, as the name implies, tells the story of an amnesiac named Daniel who has awoken in a castle with no recollection of how he got there. The deeper he saunters into the bowels of the Brennenburg Castle, the more his mind begins to unravel. Given the game's survival horror atmosphere, players have no other option but to escape from various enemy creatures, main among them being the now iconic Gatherers. These monsters aren't the only terror lurking in the dark, as so expertly proven by the game's sanity meter, drawing attention to the ever-descending madness Daniel is privy to as the story progresses. Next up we have Home Sweet Home. Brought to life by Thai folklore, Home Sweet Home is an eerie horror adventure that uses myths and legends as its driving mode of terror. The story tracks Tim on a quest to find his wife, who has suddenly vanished following a disturbing revelation. As Tim dives deeper into the mysteries that likewise plagued his wife, so too will he become lost and forgotten in a tangled web of angry ghosts. Home Sweet Home is often overlooked, mainly due to its indie status, yet this is exactly what makes it so superb. The infused bit of Thai intrigue broadens the experience. Next up we have Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. What sets Everybody's Gone to the Rapture apart from all the rest of the best PS4 horror games is its lack of a dark and tortured atmosphere. Instead, these concepts are brought to life more so via the lost inhabitants of the small English town players will be adventuring throughout in the game. The story follows the aftermath of a Rapture-like event, akin to a video game version of HBO's The Leftovers. The player must interact with various objects and floating orbs of light to progress through the narrative by learning what brought about the disappearance of an entire town. Next up we have Soma. Like Outlast and Amnesia before it, Soma is a testament to the power of horror gaming. With themes that harken on consciousness and humanity, it's certainly not a game for the faint of heart. After waking up in an underwater facility, Simon Jarrett must not only uncover the reasons for his being there, but also for his very existence. The player is reliant upon only stealth and puzzle solving in order to progress through the utterly bonkers story, which will ultimately leave players speechless in its devastating culmination. Next up we have The Evil Within. Designed by Shinji Mikami and published by Bethesda, The Evil Within and its sequel are survival horrors that do away with the conventional first-person perspective. Instead, players are graced by the fluid actions of Sebastian Castellanos, lead detective for the Crimson City Police. Following a routine investigation of a brutal mass murder, the detective, along with his police counterparts, Julie Kidman and Joseph Oda, falls unwittingly into an otherworldly dimension, not unlike Silent Hill's own Otherworld. The last game of this video is Inside. Inside is intended for younger audiences, yet it still expounds upon the horror experience through the infusion of puzzle platforming. It comes via the creators of Limbo, yet another puzzle platformer that draws on horror tropes to enliven the experience and add a fresh twist to the genre. In Inside, players control a young boy in a dystopian world, solving puzzles to progress through the various levels and areas associated with this limbo-like reality. So that's it guys, thanks for watching this video, subscribe to your channel Games Down and press the bell icon for more gaming videos.